The verdict is in after about like an hour and a half of deliberating. The jury came back with a verdict. Now, book deal. What is this book deal gossip thing going on? So we're going to address the book deal gossip because I forgot to put this in the last video. But if you guys are not interested in it, I have timestamps down below. Just go straight to the verdict if you want to. We're also going to be listening to the state and the defense give their interviews. And what did Sarah Boone thought? Apparently she was in shock of the verdict. I mean, was she really surprised? Maybe, you know what? Maybe she was surprised. Maybe she really thought she was going to be acquitted.
None of my business unless it's raised in the 3850. So if there's an in-camera proceeding, I would ask to be sealed, and won't be any need to get into it unless there's a 3850 claim that was a conflict of interest.
Is there anything other than concern or speculation that you have?
Just things in passing that have been said and observed. It's a very...
Oh, the conflict of interest thing. Oh, man. All right. I don't know if you guys were here yesterday. I think it's because I said bye to you guys yesterday. And then I was like, oh, wait, I forgot. I was going to cover this. It's really short. It'll take 2 minutes for me to read it. If you guys missed it, I'll read it again shortly. It's also in the end of my last video. But since I'm right here, I might as well just read it for y'all. Let me see if I can find it. The conflict of interest, financial arrangements. So it was circulating that Owens, even though he's not taking direct payment from Sarah Boone, but he agreed to take on this case, so he would have the book rights for this. Apparently that was circulating around a bit, and I think Surviving the Survivor did ask Owens yesterday, and Owens says, absolutely not. That's not true. So seems like it could be rumors. Now, this was filed yesterday. No? Oh, it was filed. Oh, okay. I thought it was yesterday. It was filed 10/21. The defendant is indigent. She'd had several appointed lawyers prior to forfeiting her right to an appointed attorney. Oh, sorry. State's request for in-camera hearing regarding financial arrangements between the defendant and the defense team. I'm just going to get straight to it. The defense team is expending a tremendous amount of cost, having traveled from Milton, Florida to Orlando, Florida for several-week trial. The team returned to Milton, Florida prior to the arrival of Hurricane Milton in Central Florida and then traveled back after it had passed, incurring additional costs. The state is concerned about potential conflict of interest between the defendant and her team. The only way for the court to know if there's actual conflict of interest rather than a potential conflict of interest is to review the financial arrangements between the defendant and her team. If there's an actual conflict, the defendant can't waive this right with clear, unequivocal, with ambiguous language. For a waiver to be valid, the record must show the defendant was aware of the conflict of interest, that the defendant realized the conflict could affect the defense, and the defendant knew of the right to obtain other counsel. The state is requesting the court to conduct an in-camera examination of the financial record to assure there's no actual conflict of interest, and there is an actual conflict of interest. The defendant validly waives any actual conflict of interest. All right. That's what he's talking about.
Very expensive defense. That's my concern. I don't want her to be able to raise any arguments that, well, I would have pled if I had a conflict-free lawyer who did not want it to go to trial for his or her own reasons.
Okay. Mr. Owens, is there anything of concern that I need to be aware of in camera?
So I don't know if you can hear that part, but it's basically like, maybe Sarah Boone would have said, oh, I wouldn't have chosen to go to trial, but these attorneys who are making money off the book deal, they were pushing me to go to trial. So, I mean, that's what he was saying, but he wasn't saying that was true or anything, but he was just giving that as a example. I just added the book part in it, given what I saw on Twitter.
Camera.
No, sir. And
Mr. Henderson, same question to you, sir. Is there anything of concern that I need to be aware of in camera or otherwise?
no, sir.
Mr. Beck, same question for you. Is there anything of concern that I need to be aware of, be it here or in camera?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Judge, and if you need to inquire from my client about whether or not she wanted to enter a plea or whether she wanted to go to trial, but, we made it clear that it was her decision, not my decision to go to trial because I'm trying to gain some publicity or money or book deal or whatever. But that was her decision. There was some strong conversations we had about what was on the table. And Ms. Boone, as she has a right to, wanted a trial.
Mr. Henderson and Mr. Beck, would you agree with Mr. Owens' recitation as to none of the financial issues being book deals or anything on the table at this point in time?
Judge?
There is no Becky Hill, right? Becky, you there, Becky? No book deal. You hear that, Becky?
Being book deals or anything on the table at this point in time?
Judge? Yes, because I definitely don't know about it.
Mr. Beck, anything to add, sir?
Only, Your Honor, I believe it's the attorney-client privilege information, but there are no concerns about comment.
I colloquied Mr. Owens, your client, before we picked a jury as to the offer in this case and whether or not she was ready and wanted to proceed to trial, and she had affirmed at that point in time that's what she wanted to do. So I see no reason to inquire of that further. State, is there anything else we need to address? Defense, anything else?
No.
All right, please give your cell phone numbers to Madam Clerk. We will be on verdict watch, and I thank you all for your hard work in this case. We're off the record.
Judge, you want my cell phone number too, Judge? 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 Can you hear me, Judge? Judge? Judge, can you hear me?
The waist chain so that the jury wouldn't see it in case there's something wrong with the verdict form or, there's an issue, which sometimes happens, but that's my position.
Okay.
Oh, you wish there was something wrong with the verdict form.
I've been advised by the sheriff that during the reading of the verdict, due to Miss Boone's status as an inmate, their leg irons and the cuffs are to be attached.
Well, she's going to stay seated.
That's fine.
Mr. Beck's going to stay seated.
I would ask for us all to remain seated, and could you remind everybody in the gallery that there should be no emotional reactions to the
I was
verdict?
just about to address that, sir. Thank you very much. All right, members of the jury, my understanding, or members of the gallery, good evening. My understanding is that the jury in this matter has reached a verdict. I don't know what it's going to be until it's read. If you are unable to contain yourself emotionally and you're going to react in any way, be it in joy or in sadness, I'm going to ask you politely to excuse yourself at this time. There cannot be any emotional outbursts when the verdict is read. Does everybody understand that? I see everybody nodding their heads.
I mean, by
Okay.
the time it's already over.
All right, State,
Who
are we
cares if
ready
you
to
get
bring
kicked
in our
out? You
jury?
can't come back in.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's over.
Defense, are we ready to bring in our jury?
Yes, Judge.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in our jury. Everyone will remain seated.
I want to zoom in on Sarah Boone. Amanda, thank you. Amanda, thank you so much for the $4.99. Thank you again, Corky, for this week. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the $4.99. That's so generous of you. I don't know if I have like stuff in my teeth. I just ate salad. Let me know if I have everything in my teeth. Marco, Dino, welcome back. Oh, man. All right, y'all. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. What do you think? Second-degree murder? Guilty of the lesser charge? Not guilty? Hung jury? They only deliberated for like, what, an hour and 40 minutes?
State, do you recognize our jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you recognize our jury?
Yes, sir.
All right, members of the jury, you may be seated. Thank you. Members of our jury, good evening. I understand that you've come to a verdict in this case.
Yes.
If you could please hand the verdict form to the deputy, please. Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, if you could please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 9th Judicial Circuit in Orange County, Florida, case number 2020-CF2603, the State of Florida versus Sarah Boone. Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree as charged in the information. So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 25th day of October 2024. The form has been signed by the foreperson.
Madam Clerk, please poll our jury.
Sarah, fuck you, Sarah. Fuck you.
Seat number 1, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror seat number 2, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror seat number 3, is this your true and
Yes, it
correct
is.
verdict? Juror seat number 4, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror seat number 5, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror seat number 6, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Members of our jury, again, I want to thank you for your time, your sacrifice.
We are finally getting some emotion from Sarah Boone. That's real emotion. That's real emotion. I think she's about to cry. That's some real emotion right there.
And your attention in this matter. I know that we spent almost 2 weeks together and it was not taken lightly, and I really appreciate the time and the effort and the sacrifice that you put into this case. I want to advise you now of your final instruction. Members, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and your consideration in this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, discussions, and votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish it. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are at liberty to speak to anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror. With that, members of the jury, again, I thank you for your service. I'm going to ask you return to the deliberation room. I'll be back there shortly with your
When is sentencing? When is sentencing?
jury certificates, and thank you.
No, not the commercial block. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Ms. Boone, the jury has spoken in this matter and has found you guilty of murder in the second degree. The court adjudicates you guilty of murder in the second degree. As this is your first felony conviction, you are entitled to a pre-sentencing investigation by the Department of Corrections. Mr. Owens, are you seeking that in this case?
Yes.
Okay. State, I will order the Department of Corrections to prepare the pre-sentencing investigation. State, for the purposes of sentencing, do you anticipate eliciting any testimony from, be it the victim's family?
2 or 3 victim impact statements, sir.
Okay. Mr. Owens, do you plan on presenting any evidence during the course of the sentencing hearing, sir?
Probably some testimony from Dr. Harper.
Okay. All right.
Dr. Harper. I mean, the judge is the one that's making the determination. He has to listen to Dr. Harper again.
How long do you think, State, that you would need?
You mean timing-wise, or are we thinking?
A quantum of time, sir. Yeah, well, normally it takes about 30 days or so. I'm confirming with Anita as to availability. I just want to know from your side of the ledger, how much time? Okay, 15 minutes. How much time do you think you're going to need to produce anything from your side of the ledger, sir? Mr. Owens.
I mean, Judge, I don't know, Judge, because I was expecting to win this case, man. I don't know. I didn't think that far.
I'd say 30 minutes.
Okay.
30 to 45.
So if we set this for an hour, that would be sufficient.
Party agreed.
Okay.
State agrees.
Is that sufficient, Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Give me a moment.
Should have taken the deal. I'm glad she didn't take the deal. I'm glad she didn't take the deal. I didn't want her to take the deal. Yes, Claire and Karen Bluebird. Yes, yes, yes. Justice for George. It only took, what, 4.5 fucking years? So, if the rumor is true and she has a girlfriend who's out of jail, then you're going to continue being together?
Ms. Barrios is checking. Just give us a moment.
All right, we're going to figure out what day to do our sentencing. I really want to hear from the victim impact statements. You think Brian Boone is going to speak? You think we're going to hear from Brian Boone to the sentencing? I don't know. That was in the rumors. Someone said that her girlfriend was like sitting behind them or something that they met in the jailhouse. I don't know.
We can set this matter for 1:30 in the afternoon for sentencing on December 2. State, is that acceptable? It's a Monday.
I have a status hearing, but I'll make it work.
I can move it to later if necessary.
I'm co-counsel on it. I'll make it work.
Okay. Defense.
Give me 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Monday, December 2nd.
That's Monday, December 2 at 1:30.
Yes, sir.
I can be here.
Ma'am, you've been adjudicated guilty. I now remand you into the custody of the Orange County Jail pending sentencing on December 2 at 1:30. State, anything else we need to address?
Not from the state.
Defense. All right, thank you very much. We're off the record.
Look at her face. Okay, so for those of you guys who missed it because y'all had a commercial, well, I'm going to rewind and watch it again. Damn, Sarah. I mean, Sarah, you knew. Come on. You knew it was coming for you. You knew it was coming for you. Did you really think you were going to lie to the rest of us, huh? You think they were going to believe you? Just because the jurors didn't get to see your damn letters? Know about your past history with your relationship? Oh, gosh. Thank goodness. All right, Owens and Boone, they're talking right now. Looks kind of serious. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm nosy. Owen's like, done. I'm done. All right, Owens, you tried. You tried, Owens. You tried. Cacciatore. Goodbye, Mr. Cacciatore. I just want to let everyone know that I am truly, truly grateful that Owens decided to take this case. I found Owens to be very entertaining, and honestly, I didn't want to watch the Sarah Boone pro se shit show. Watching her in the pro se in the pretrial hearings was frustrating. Frustrating. She couldn't keep up. She just didn't have the experience, the knowledge. Just couldn't keep up. I'm so glad that we had a team of attorneys do it. So thank you so much, Mr. Owens. Because this trial would have been 3 fucking weeks. All right. I wish everyone would just move over so I can watch them. Oh, Karen, don't worry. We'll go back. We're going to rewatch it. It was very satisfying. There goes the Boone. There goes the Boone. Dino, thank you so much for the 5. Dino, thank you for your support, your continued support. You've been a member for a very long time. Thank you so much for the 5. You crazy? Her representing herself with great content? No, it's just headache. I'd rather listen to attorneys argue than someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing and they have to represent themselves. That's me, okay? I like Mr. Owens. He was good enough. Thank you, Corgi. You're welcome, Addie. Joe. Her TSA suitcase beating defense didn't work. Oh, they're doing the fingerprint. So, do y'all think she's gonna cry in her bunk bed tonight? I don't know if it's a bunk bed. I'm just making shit up. Minimum, that's what I heard. I heard minimum was 22 years and she's facing life in prison. It's crazy because it's been 5 years since the crime was committed. And if you look at her now, she actually looks pretty sympathetic. But you look at her 4.5 years ago and then you see how she is in those videos, how nasty she is. It's like, no sympathy. The body cam and all that, no sympathy. No audio, or listening to her in audio, no sympathy. Damn footage.
Any arguments that, well, I would have pled if I had a conflict-free lawyer who did not want it to go to trial for his or her own reasons.
Okay. Mr. Owens, is there anything of concern that I need to be aware of in camera?
No, sir. And, in shock. She said she would call me tomorrow morning, so we'll talk some more after she's had some time to think about it. I've had some time to think about it, but, we're obviously really disappointed. We did the best that we could, in the time that we had to prepare. Sarah really liked the team, and we all got along with the...
I mean, he was probably the only set of lawyers that were willing to work with her, and, do some of her bidding. Some of the stuff that she requested, they're probably willing to do. Unlike other attorneys, they're probably like, nope, that's crazy. I'm not doing that. So, I definitely did see a lot of like him trying to work with her, especially asking for Snackies, Pop-Tarts, and all that stuff. She was asking for that. Okay. All right. This looks good. I can see James Owens all nice and clear. I love this camera. Let's go.
Here, Sarah really liked the team, and we all got along with the 3 lawyers and the other 2 girls that have helped the other 4 lawyers working on the case. And Sarah was, as you know, really happy with us. And, we had some disagreements about how the case should proceed. And Sarah, is opinionated, and some of the things we considered, some not. But ultimately, I think she was happy with the defense. It just didn't go our way. As you know, these trials, a murder charge is a difficult case to beat. And there was some strong evidence that the state used, obviously. And we just, for whatever reason, the jury didn't consider some of the things that we felt like.
For whatever reason. Oh, please, Mr. Owens, you know. Don't act like you don't know. And thank you so much for the, thank you for the greater job.
Didn't consider some of the things that we felt like should have potentially been defenses, the justifiable use of force under the battered spouse syndrome. But for whatever reason, we respect the jury's decision. They've been here for 2 weeks. Took us 4 days to pick the jury. And so I'm sure they did the very best that they could under the circumstances.
Was it her decision to not take the plea deal, or do you think she regrets it now?
Ooh, good question. Was it her decision to not take the plea deal, and does she regret it now?
I don't think she would have taken anything. I think she wanted, some clients, they want their day in court, and I don't believe she would have taken anything. I felt like the state should have probably negotiated a little bit more, but they were firm on where they were.
Oh, something tells me she regrets not taking the plea deal, especially if you're looking at life in prison. That's a scary thing. All right, Owens.
I don't believe she would have taken anything. I felt like the state should have probably negotiated a little bit more, but they were firm on where they were, and Sarah was firm on where she was. I just think, she was convinced in her mind that... that she felt like, she felt like she didn't intend to kill George, and that this was just a circumstance because they were both intoxicated. Things happened that, it was just really unintentional act. So I think she felt bad about any kind of a murder conviction or pleading to any kind of a murder, that she was somehow criminally responsible for George's death. And I think that's where her mindset was. And, I think she would have gone to trial even without lawyers. She was ready to go to trial.
I mean, she didn't have a choice, and she really thought she was in the right. So I wouldn't be surprised if she did go to trial, pro se and all.
Pro se, I think she was happy we came in. We worked as hard as we could. We had about 45 days to get ready, and we did it all that we could. So I think she feels good about our efforts. We put everything out on the table, just like any other contest. You do the very best you can, and then you have to accept, the decision by the jury. We respect the jury and appreciate their time and attention on the case.
And I respect that. Wait, oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Did I have it zoomed in that much in his face? I'm so sorry. I was distracted. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, he does have nice eyes. He got nice eyelashes as well. You know what? I respect that, because usually when they go out there and they start talking about how dumb the jury is and how, how they just didn't make the right decision and all that stuff, it's like, ugh, whatever, roll your eyes. But you know what? Respectable answer. Respectable answer. And I'm so sorry we zoomed in that much on James.
Will you be representing her on her appeal?
No.
Hell no.
No, I'll be representing her at her sentencing. But not the appeal. I think she would qualify, since she's indigent, for court-appointed appellate counsel.
Oh, hell no. Is she going to qualify? I guess this is for appeal. A different thing, right? Oh, my God. Good luck to the next attorney that's going to be assigned to Sarah Boone for the appeal. Jesus. I mean, if you fuck up that much in the appellate stage, can you go pro se when you're trying to appeal your case too? Oh gosh, no, that sounds, I don't know, man. That sounds a major yikes. Meanwhile, she's writing the jury a letter. Oh my gosh. Dear manager. All right, let's see what Mr. Owens has to say.
And those guys, that's all they do is appellate work, and those are probably the best lawyers to handle something like that. But we're, as I said, really disappointed. Sarah is kind of in shock, but you know, we
just like how she was in shock when she found George.
respect the jury's decision.
Thank you,
Thank
James.
y'all so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Owens. Mr. Owens, you did your best, man. You did your best.
Thank you, man.
You did your best. You did your best. All right, let's listen to the state. Let's see, the state.
Yeah, sorry.
It's my big head fitting in all these lenses. That's what we're saying. Okay.
We got some shoulders on that.
All right. Everybody ready?
Yes.
All right. All right. So today, as many of you know, Sarah Boone was convicted of second-degree murder of her boyfriend, Jorge Torres Jr. You know, these events stem from an incident from February 23rd of 2020, where she zipped her boyfriend up in a suitcase in what she claimed to be a game of hide and seek. And 2 videos were introduced from her.
I'm assuming maybe he's the state attorney?
Where he was begging for his life, and a horrific turn of events. And she didn't try to let him out. She didn't do anything to help him. She just went upstairs and went to sleep. And so this is a very horrific homicide. Nobody really should have to endure this type of struggle and fight for their lives and have to die alone.
Oh, is that a DV badge? It says love shouldn't hurt. I think so, maybe.
Begging for their last breath inside of a suitcase like this. And the jury did amazing work. I'm thankful for our chief of homicide, Will J, and our assistant state attorney, Dave Cacciatore. They did amazing work. Some of you caught me in the courtyard. I was like, I get briefings about it every single day about what they've been doing. But we're excited that they were able to bring this home with a victory because today justice was served with the conviction of Sarah Boone for this very horrific homicide that occurred. And so if you have any questions, I'm going to turn it over to them.
So strong. Oops, sorry. Oh, who that? Oh my gosh, who was that? I paused it, but warning for anyone that's wearing headphones, I did lower the volume, but I don't know. Just maybe take off your headphones real quick, just in case.
The defense's argument, clearly the jury did not buy it. The argument was self-defense and battered spouse.
Correct. And so we're going to turn over to Will and Dave to ask all specific questions as to all the...
Aww. Oh, his name is Will J. I kept calling him Mr. J because I kept forgetting his first name. Mr. Will J. Round of hands for Mr. Will J. And Brian Bradley. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, guys. No, you guys are good. Thank you so much for the $1.99. That's huge. Thank you so much, y'all. I really appreciate it. The best. No, you guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been fun watching the true crime stuff with you guys. It's been fun watching this case and all the other cases that we've been following. I appreciate you guys popping in, watching the videos and all that. Oh man. Y'all ready to hear from Mr. Will J, the star of today?
Defenses, and it's because they did all the great work.
Yeah, Brian, Katya, thank you. Glacier, thank you all.
Yeah, so the defense, can we speak about that? I know the jury obviously did not buy that. They came down with a second-degree murder charge.
Correct, yeah.
Well, how does that make you feel? Did you get a chance to speak to the family, Brian Torres?
Yes, we're very happy to gain some closure for the Torres family and some justice for George.
Strong closing arguments from the both of you today. What do you think, like she said, this case means for the family and getting justice for George Torres?
Oh, we can see the tie now. All right, we can see the tie. Definitely not Homer Simpson. It's not Homer Simpson.
I think after 4.5 years and the numerous delays, I think they were finally just happy to see this case go to trial and be able to put this one in the books.
You know what? He looks like a great TV show detective. Like, I could see him being like a TV show detective, like True Crime or something like that. You guys ever seen True Crime on HBO? He looks like a great TV show detective, like a detective actor.
What do you think the appropriate sentence should be?
They asked, how long do you think the appropriate sentence should be? What do you guys think? What do you think should be Sarah Boone's sentencing? 22 years is the minimum. The max is life. What do you guys think? And I don't know if there's like eligibility for parole. Do you guys think she should be eligible for parole? Do y'all think she should get 22 years? Do you think she should get life? 30, 35, life, 30, life, 30, 42 years? Oh, is that how old George was when he passed away? 42 years? Or was it 41? No parole, 30, life. Seeing lots of life in here. Life without the possibility. Because I feel like you should be, I know one of the things is like whether or not someone's changed and whether or not they have the ability to harm someone else. Sarah Boone? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. But I think one of the major factors that should go into that is whether or not you were forthcoming and truthful. You know? Whether or not you're forthcoming and truthful. Oh, no, you guys. Y'all are good. No need to one up. You guys are good. Thank you so much, Katia. You don't have to do that. Thank you so much also for the $1.99. Don't tell my fiance. Where the fiance at? Okay, now I'm broke. Brian. Okay, I'm broke now, Brian. No, thank you so much. You guys are good. You guys don't have to keep doing this. You're good. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all just being here. Holy cow. You guys are y'all are spoiling me right now. And then spoiling Shiro too. We're gonna go buy Shiro lots of toys. All the toys for Shiro. Don't think someone can drink her. Don't think someone like her can rehab. Because if they let her out, I don't think she would kill again, but I think she would probably mentally torture someone. You know? That a person like that's stubborn. Like, she went up there and she fucking lied, okay? She didn't even try to shed any sympathy or anything. I felt like she doesn't give a fuck about George. Did not give a fuck about George. She just went up there and she just lied her ass off. You know, that should definitely be something that is considered. Like, I don't know, man, maybe give her life because she doesn't even try to tell the truth. If she tried to tell the truth, then maybe we'll consider something, 25 years or something like that. But she just straight up just lied. Just lied. Lied. Did you read her letter to the alimony judge? No, I don't have any access to any of the family court stuff. I did hear about it, though. I heard about some of the letters that she wrote to the judges in her family court case and all that stuff. And his response? No. I mean, you guys are welcome to post in the Discord. Post in the Discord. I want to read it. All right. So they asked Mr. J, how many years do you think she should serve? Let's see what Mr. J says. Once this happens. Yeah, no, 15 years, really good deal. Yeah, especially when you filmed your own crime. Okay. They're thinking. Let's just give it a second. They're thinking. They're buffering. I don't know. I feel like YouTube.
Yeah, so like the defense, can we speak about that? I know the jury obviously did not buy that. They came down with that second-degree murder charge.
Correct, yeah.
Well, how does that make you feel? Did you get a chance to speak to the family, right, Torres?
Yes, we're very happy to gain some closure for the Torres family and some justice for George.
Strong closing arguments from the both of you today. What do you think, like she said, this case means for the family and getting justice for George Torres?
I think after 4.5 years and the numerous delays, I think they were finally just happy to see this case go to trial and be able to put this one in the books.
What do you think the appropriate sentence should be?
We'll reserve comment to the sentencing hearing.
Oh, boring answer. Fine.
Verdict to come back that quickly. I think it was an hour and 20-something minutes. Very fast.
Should never have expectations.
What do you think about the case law with respect to Martinez? I know
I think he said, like, what do you think about the verdict being that quick, an hour and 20 minutes?
there was a strongly
Did you think it was gonna be that quick? I think that's what they asked. Wow, he's just like just giving very short answers. I think he's ready to go home. Let him go home. Let him drink. Put his feet up. Take off his clothes. Take a nice little bath.
worded letter you all signaled you would be sending out. Is that right for judicial review higher up?
Can't really talk about future legal arguments.
Come on, Mr. J. Mr. J's so tired. Mr. J's like, okay, guys. Yep, I'm not here for the publicity. Yeah, I won. I know. I'm used to it. I'm used to winning. He's tired.
How was it in the courtroom between you and James Owens? There was obviously moments of tension and then also moments of levity. Was this different than a typical battle that you go into?
I wouldn't say it was different than a different relationship than with most defense attorneys.
What would you say to the jurors who were here for about 2 weeks on this case? It was a long jury selection and then, of course, a lot of evidence to look at and all of that. What would you want to say to them?
Just thank them for their service.
Will, did you know that it was George Torres' mother who broke down in court today, and that was the reason for the bit of an outburst?
I was made aware afterwards. It happens in these cases.
Do you have a chance to talk to her and say something to her?
I have not yet.
How about you, Dave?
I spoke to her along with the rest of the Torres family after the verdict, and just listened to them.
A strong rebuttal yesterday from you guys. What do you think that evidence showed the jurors and meant for this case?
Not going to really talk about the evidence.
Okay.
Final question from me is, are you stunned that you did not take that plea deal?
It's not for us to say.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Y'all did a good job.
Thank you.
Bye, Will.
You guys been here for a long time, a couple weeks, but thank you.
Bye, Dave.
for coming, and thank you for covering the case.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
He just wants to go home and cry. It's okay. We got you. I'm just kidding. He's done. I don't know. Her microphone was a little crazy. Okay, let's see if there's any more interviews. I think that's it.